Today is the third day of my tips for learning to love yourself and practice self-love. So today's tips are on boundaries and setting boundaries and how important they are. So let's start with tip 1. Identifying why it's necessary to set boundaries. If things aren't going great or you're having issues with your child's bedtime, going to school, and you feel like now's the time to start setting some boundaries in place, then, this is a great time to, make it, a good time for you as well, instead of always, having to fight against your child or children. So identify the boundaries. Now, this can be, as I said, issues with bedtime, or, issues with going to school, or not eating, having meltdowns. It can be anything, but identify what boundaries you want to put in place. Communicate them with passion. Getting angry, getting snappy, or being, you will do this, I've set a boundary, it's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to make you feel good. It's not going to make your child feel good. They're liable to rebel and push against you. And, it doesn't do any of you any favours in the house. And you want a harmonious house. So be compassionate, be kind, and say, right, let's sit down and work these out together. If you involve your child in it, they're more likely to want to help you with those boundaries and help follow them and see, how it goes. Consistency and enforcement. Don't be mean about enforcing it. Don't be horrible, but do stand your ground and be strong. And be consistent. Don't set a boundary and then because it's not convenient to you, you just wave it away, because your child's going to think, oh, well, if they're not really that bothered and they can, break the rules or break the boundaries, then I can too. Reevaluate and readjust as needed. Sit down and say, right, this isn't working, so let's try tweaking it a little bit here or a little bit there and see how we get on. Because, it is okay to do that. You don't have to be setting that boundary and then that's set in stone and you can't adjust it as needed. Sometimes it's like, right, okay, well, this isn't working, so maybe we need to adjust the time or how long we're doing this, or, just little things that you've realised over, the first couple of weeks that you've been doing this that, just need to change it a little bit, and that's okay. So boundaries need to be put in place for you as a family to make it a more harmonious home. But you can also involve your child and let them set boundaries too. They might want to set a boundary that no matter how much you want to force them or bribe them to eat carrots, they're not going to eat them. And they need to be able to say that and put a boundary down that says, look, mum or dad, I appreciate you cooking this meal, but actually I don't like it, and I don't appreciate the fact that you bribe or you get cross or you try and force me to eat it. Maybe at a later date I may want to try it, but right now I don't really like it. And that's a good boundary to set. The same with bedtime. They might want a different, way that they do their bedtime. Just anything really that they want to stick down as boundaries, and make sure they're, they're good ones. Don't let them sit and write ones that are completely just them being them. But yeah, boundaries are important for all of you to be more harmonious. And there are more tips like this in my Facebook community group of Piece by Piece Rebuilding Together. So I would love to have you there. And also the opportunity to work with me one-to-one. Just pop me a message or comment on this video.